Hey guys, welcome to just another quick vid. I was going to put up my how to do the how to paint stowage and stuff like that on the T34s, but man, I have been absolutely work flogged to the max. So what I thought I'd do, just to let you know I'm still alive, and I haven't forgotten about you guys, and I will be putting up the how to paint stowage and stuff and completing the T34s. I thought I'd just do a quick rundown on the Tropic Lighting. Now, I know Terrain Project, he sent me a short message asking if I'd gotten the book, and at that particular time, no, I didn't have it. But I have it now, and I've been looking through it, and I must say it is very impressive. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Most of my club where I play Flames of War. A lot of the guys, I play mid-war, which is 42 to 43 World War II. I just started in the endeavour of going to the Blitzkrieg and doing a little bit of early war. I was going to make up a small German force in the early war, but now I think I might put that on hold since most of the club is doing Tropic Lighting, and I might have a crack at the old Vietnam. So this is the intelligence handbook that you got with I can't think what it's called. It escapes me. I think it's War Gamers. It's a book anyway, a magazine that's out. War Game magazine. And it was free with this particular magazine. I'm really sorry guys, I just can't remember right now. But yeah, it was a free supplement guide with the magazine, and yeah, it's really cool. So opening up, Tropic Lighting, a lot of people having a bit of a payoff on this, going, oh yeah, well there's a movie called Tropic Thunder and all this sort of bullshit. But this was a real group. This was a real group of people in Vietnam. This was a real battalion. Tropic Lightning, Tropic Thunder, obviously was the takeoff, and the movie was definitely the takeoff. Most of you people probably know that, the play Flames of War and stuff like that, and I'll have a little bit of history up your sleeve. But yeah. So yeah, opening up, you get the map of Vietnam, the Republic of Vietnam, up here, Cambodia over into here. And it basically gives you a bit of a laydown on where the particular forces, the American forces, were situated at the time, especially down here in Saigon, especially where most of the Tropic Lightning guys were, and stuff like that. So, so we flip the page. We start off on our first tank company, which I think is a pile of shit. A lot of people might like tanks. I love tanks. I'm a heavy tank fan in Flames of War, in mid-war, late war, early war. But these tanks, they're only confident trained, and tanks in Vietnam weren't what you call, they were more of a scare tactic than they were an actual threat. The Pavan or the Viet Cong absolutely fucking slaughtered tanks. There's just no two ways about it. So tank company is definitely what I would not play. In fact, I would not play American at all. Nothing towards the Americans. I think I really like the American forces and what I read in this book, but it just doesn't interest me. I really like the Viet Cong and the Pavan, simply because they are just infantry. And for me, it's basically a shy away from that armoured and mech style warfare, which I play in World War II. So I guess people that play infantry companies in Flames of War, this would be ideal. But for me, I just, tank company just doesn't do it for me in Vietnam. I mean, tanks, most of the forests were too heavily overgrown for tanks and whatnot, so And as I said, the Pavan and the Viet Cong absolutely fucking slaughtered tanks. So on the next one, you get your armored. On the next page, you got your armored cavalry troop, which is a mechanized company. This is Mackenzie's Raiders. They're only confident train, which I was really surprised to actually see that the Americans were confident train. I thought at least they were confident veteran. I wouldn't say fearless veteran, but I would have thought they would come out at least confident veteran. Most of them, but no, this was a very interesting thing for me. I found that very interesting. But yeah, this is a mechanized company, so this basically come with armored personnel carriers. So it's basically infantry in armored personnel carriers. For the Americans, this was a very mechanized war for them. There wasn't what you would call a straight infantry company. Everything was, they were mechanized in some way or another, or they were air mobile in some way. So flipping on to the next page, which is, if I did play Americans, I would definitely go to Tropic Lighting or the Black Horse, which is later on. But this is also a rifle company that's mechanized, once again. And once again, confident veteran. Sorry, my mistake, confident trained. This was the big shock for me. As I know a lot of the Viet Cong, the Vietnamese, the Americans were conscripts, but most of these companies that they're talking about were quite well-known companies, and they weren't, to my knowledge, weren't fully conscripted like some of the other companies that were in Vietnam at this particular time. So this was interesting. Yeah, I would have thought conscript would have been in there with one of the armies, or one of the lists, but no. So I found that interesting. And yeah, it just goes through what Tropic Lightning guys can have, the howitzers and stuff like that. And you know, America was huge on artillery in Vietnam, and this game really reflects it quite well. It shows that Americans like big fucking guns. They like everything big, cars, guns, you name it. But yeah, and the Black Horse. This is something I'd go, which is also a mechanized company, but up here, confident veteran, which made a little bit more sense to me. Definitely made sense to me. I wouldn't say they were fearless, but definitely confident veterans. I would have thought they had a lot of trained at the early stages of Vietnam. There was a lot of trained troops in there. But then after most of those got slaughtered and whatnot, and I guess that's when the train come in, and then I guess the conscript later on. So this is the Black Horse. I think a lot of people will go Black Horse. I got a bit of a feeling. The Zippos are pretty cool. I haven't had a full look on what each platoon does yet, so and basically a little bit about Colonel Hale Moore, and then you got Basil Plumley down here. You got a couple of missions here that are specific to the Americans. Some characteristics. I think that's to do with the Black Horse. Now we've got the first team, which is the first. It's an infantry company. This is air mobile. So this is about the one way that you can have a full straight infantry company in Vietnam, even though they're air mobile. So there wasn't really what you call straight infantry companies like you can have in World War II Funds of War, mid, early or late. And then you got this really cool rule here, which is Medivac. Really cool. I'll go into it later. I'll go into more depth of this later on as I have more of a read and a bit better understanding of it. But I thought I'd just give you a quick preview of it. There's a lot of guys out there that, as I said, like Terrain Project and stuff like that. He sort of asked if I had it, and at that particular time I didn't, and so I thought I'd throw it up. I don't know if he's got it yet, but he's definitely making some Hueys at the moment, and they are awesome. I really, really want one. Scratch built, fucking kudos. And here's some special rules, some infantry special rules, some tracks, some cavalry special rules, some tank special rules, and some artillery special rules. Pardon me. As I said, I'm not going to go through them. I will do it at a later date. Oh, and then the helicopter rules, which are really cool. As I said, later date. And then, yeah. Pardon me. And then your basic guy. Come on. Focus. Sorry, guys. And then, yeah, your basic US Arsenal layout, which you have pretty much these Arsenal layouts for any particular force that you play in Flames of War. Now, and getting onto the havnt, which to me interests me the most, simply because they are straight infantry and they rape the shit out of anything. They're all armed with the old faithful AK-47, which is one of the best weapons ever produced, which is from the Sturmgewehr from World War II, which is the Germans, what the Germans had, the SS. Pretty much, this is its son. And once again, here, which makes a lot of sense to me, is fearless trained. Now, these guys were very, very fearless, and yeah, they were only trained, but they were fearless, definitely fearless. So this sort of plays true to me. And yeah, you just got your different, which I found, this is what's very devastating about the havnt. Each infantry company has an AK-47 assault team. So let's try and get in here and give it a focus. Let's have a bit of a squiz. They got AK-47 assault teams, and then each base also there's a B-40, which is a rocket launcher, which in my eyes, this is what I was saying, that tanks are absolutely fucking useless because these things rape tanks. Now, this is one platoon. 1, 2, 3. You have 3 B-40s there. So you take 3 platoons. 3, 6, 9. That's 9 fucking shots, potentially wiping out 9 tanks in one turn. I can't see why you'd want tanks. You definitely want to take infantry to attack infantry. That's the way I see it. If I'm wrong, I'm sure I'll be corrected. But that's devastating. Those B-40s are just nasty. And with their rules, because they are an infantry team, they basically, what happens is if you wipe out a whole platoon or a whole company of Viet Cong, they come back on the table as if they are in reserves. So in that, excluding gun teams, which is like the recoilless guns and stuff like that, they don't come back. But the infantry teams do, and this is what makes them devastating, because these B-40s, they come back. So if, say, a bunch of half-tracks or a bunch of tanks take out that platoon, for instance, the infantry back here, they take out that infantry platoon there. Yeah, well, they just come back as reserves with all those B-40s again. So I can't see the point of having tanks. That's just nasty to me. It's really, really nasty. Which, this is why this appeals to me so much. And the good old booby traps, which I absolutely fucking love. Booby traps are the shit. Minefields and booby traps. This is awesome. definitely very cool, and I can see a great need for making up little bases and whatnot to actually show booby traps. You really could play on it, build up bases to show punji sticks, and yeah, no, this is really cool. That really interests me. That's really cool. And yeah, and then it just goes through the special rules. Their arsenal, which is not very big, pretty much infantry teams and gun teams. That's where the B-40 rocket launcher comes in. So, for instance, they're a tank assault 4. They hit side armor, one shot, anti-tank 9, 4 plus firepower. And then you got the B-41 rocket, side armor, anti-tank 12, 5 plus tank assault 5. Yeah, nasty. And couple of hot LZ, couple of missions in here. I think it's Black Hawk, not Black Hawk, Huey Down, I think it's called. It's not in this one. I think it's in the last one, the Army deals that they did a year or so ago. They got a couple of cool ones in there. But anyway, guys, that's just a quick review. As I said, I'm going to go into this in more depth. I definitely want to go into this more depth. But before I let's get in here, have a shot of this. Before I go into more depth, I would really want to finish off the stowage and how to paint T-34s. As I said, I do apologise. I am finishing it. It's just work's kicking my ass, and I had 16 minutes up my sleeve, to quickly just let everyone know that I'm here and haven't gone anywhere, and I intend on finishing it and just give you a quick rundown on the Tropic Lightning. Alright guys, cheers, eh?